students. So today I'll be talking about the book Divergent by Veronica Roth, and I'll also be talking about the movie as well. So let's get to it. So in Divergent, this dystopian world is divided by 5 factions. They are Dauntless, the brave, Amity the kind, Erudite the intelligent, Abnegation the selfless, and Candor the honest.
Once a child reaches a certain age, they must go through an aptitude test to see which faction most fits with their personality. So, after taking the aptitude test, Tris finds out that she is divergent, which means she fits into more than one faction, and the government sees this as a threat. So, she needs to keep this a secret from everyone, including her family, her mom, her dad, and Caleb, her brother. After, she was sent home and told to choose her original faction, Abnegation.
On choosing day, Tris chooses the faction of her dreams, Dauntless.
During the rest of the book, Tris faces different challenges, from the Dauntless faction to the corrupt government and her relationships. Both the book and the movie follow Tris Pryor, a young woman who discovers that she is divergent. She faces danger from the government and as she uncovers their evil plans and works to protect herself and others. Some key characters from this book are Tris, the main character, Christina, her best friend, Will, a friend of her, Al, the boy who has a crush on her, Peter, the bully, Ford, the guy she has a crush on, and Janine, the leader of the erudite faction, who is the mastermind of all the corruption. The movie stays pretty faithful with its portrayals of central roles and characters in the movie. Although the book and the movie both lay along the same lines of what I've shared before, there are some differences between the two. I feel like the book goes deeper into depth with the internal thoughts and motivations of the characters, especially Tris. I feel like in the movie, Tris's internal monologue is completely left out, and it doesn't really show her emotional struggles and the growth, and I feel like they are less detailed. The relationships, especially between Tris and Tobias, I would say are more subtle in the film, and the book offers more context and backstory from the beginning. So I feel like in the movie, it prioritizes action and more scenes focusing on the training, the initiation, and the battle scenes. They give it more of more action in the movie to entice the watchers of the film. The book takes more time on certain things. We learn more about the characters' backstories, especially with Tris's family and their dynamics inside the Abnegation faction. The relationship between Tris and her parents and the significance of their death is explored with greater depth. When he died, this was Tris's face. She didn't have much emotion as she did in the book. In the book, she was crying and stuff like that, and it went into her internal thoughts more. But in the movie, she just was looking, and she was like, "Oh yeah, he died. Okay, let's go."
Watch, Caleb. I'm going in there.
I feel like the book shows more of the gradual development of the romantic relationship between Tris and Four. So I feel like there was more growth in their relationship and there was more of a bond in the book. In the movie, it was just really fast. They just clicked. There wasn't any growth or anything. I feel like it was just very fast. Now we're doing the movie versus the book. So I watched the movie before reading the book, which I wish I hadn't. I just stumbled across the movie and just watched it. But I wish I had read the book first, because I liked the book better. In my opinion, it was a lot better. And I liked the way I imagined it in my mind rather than how the movie interpreted it. I feel like if I directed the movie, it would have been a little different. I feel like the book was more... it explained more, and in the movie it was too rushed. Everything happened really fast. But I also understand that there was a certain time limit, so they had to fit everything, or as much as they could, into the movie. So there wasn't as much of the events that happened in the book that happened in the movie. I also really wish they did a better casting, because I feel like the characters in the movie didn't look how I kind of picture them in my mind as the book described them. Like Christina in the book, she was like taller. She explained, well, just explained everybody was taller than her. She was so small. But Christina in the book, I imagined her taller, and she had more, like she was stronger than her. And Tris was a lot smaller. But in the movie, Tris was taller and Christina was like small. And I was like, oh, that's not really how the book described them. I would say that Christina's personality makes her a lot bigger. Overall, I kind of wish they just pick characters or find people that look more like the characters and how the book describes them. So now let's talk about the book. In my opinion, the book was a lot better than the movie, but that doesn't mean there were some interesting parts. In the book, Tris was like really weird. Like her internal dialogue was weird, like the way she talked or like the way she thought and stuff. Some of the things I didn't want to know that she thought. But anyway, and who wasn't tired of her complaining and her explaining herself?
The following are actual things she said in the book that were kind of weird.
So, in this book, there are two issues I'm going to be talking about. Number one, being the relationship of Tris and Ford. I feel like their relationship was kind of weird. The way they were together was weird. And I feel like it was rushed and it didn't have time to grow and flourish. In the book, it described their relationship a lot more. In some ways, I wish it hadn't. But anyway, my second issue, faction system. I don't like how, like, the factions separate people. It keeps them all, like, what's the word? Separated. I can't think of another word. Especially in the Dauntless faction. Like, I feel like everybody, they rely on physical challenges and violence, and it's just emphasizes aggression. Also created a culture and environment of fear, which took out loyalty, courage. It was just all aggression. Overall, I just feel like all the factions were just too separated. I feel like Divergents were the best. It could be everything. Because, like, I would want to be not only brave, not only kind, not only smart. I want to be all of those things. That's what I didn't like about the faction system. Let's compare this book to real life. Well, this book is in a dystopian setting, and it's kind of like the world we live in.
But why?
Hold on. I'll explain. As divergence and being different was looked down upon, individuality is suppressed in the society today. Knowledge is controlled in the world we live in today. Just like as the divergence and everybody else in the society weren't allowed to know some things, erudite and dauntless, certain dauntless leaders know or knew. Overall, the novel's exploration of identity, control, and inequality is highly relevant in today's world, where questions about freedom, justice, and equality are at the forefront of political and social discourse. But anyway, if I had to choose between the book and the movie, the book would win. I liked it a lot better, and I feel like reading the book, I could put my imagination in it and see it how I liked it, rather than how the director of the movie interpreted it. So thank you for listening to me yap about this book, and I hope that I get a good grade for this. Miss Janice. Bye!
Bye!